But it's like, are we going to be people who like stand in the awareness of the counsel of God? Like that there is a perspective that is not driven by the voice and the tenor of the accuser. Like there is a way to navigate this forward that reflects the model of Jesus. One of the things I love about Jesus, among so many things, is that Jesus is what is ultimately true about God and us merged. He is the perfect intersection of what is most true about God and what we are capable of, like by his grace, by his spirit. That is the person of Jesus. He crossed the bridge between God's divinity and our humanity. That's why we say things like he's 100% God, 100% man. It's because in him we find that example. And that's why we follow him. That's what it means to follow Jesus, to believe that ultimately what he says about God, what he says about sin, what he says about the world, what he says about problems, injustice, righteousness, faithfulness, love, all of that is ultimately true. And we read scripture, we're like, how is that possible? Like this, there's tension between the Old Testament and the New Testament. Like, how is the God of the Old Testament the same as the God in the New Testament? I write about that, as you know, in chapter 4 and in some other places in this book. But here's the amazing thing. We see this moment in the Mount of Transfiguration where God brings, he assembles the law and the prophets represented in Moses and Elijah and the Son, Jesus. And Peter's response is he wants to make altars for all of them. But what happens? The law and the prophets are subsumed in the Son. And the Father says, this right here, this is my beloved Son. This is the revelation that the law and the prophets have always pointed to. Like, I stooped within a religious framework to elevate you into higher forms of relationship. That's literally what grace means. It's a stooping to elevate. But here, right here, my Son, this is the reality of what it means to embody the life that I've called you to know and live and participate in.